Penny Parker is definitely one of the most complicated vanguards in Marvel Rivals, not because she has that many crazy abilities, but she has a completely different approach on how to tank, because she has to think about where to use her abilities instead of when to use her abilities like most of the vanguards in the game, and that's what makes her so complicated. So let's talk about her abilities. First, she has 650 health without bonus health. She has her left click, which is infinite ammunition, infinite range, and slows her down when she is starting shooting. Also, you have to lead the projectiles because they are not a hit scan. Her right click has also infinite range and can immobilize an enemy for 1 second every 3 seconds. It also creates a spider mat. And it's pretty insane when you think about it, right? Immobilize an enemy for 1 second every 3 seconds. Now, I say immobilize because it's not a stun. Huh? What's the difference? Well, stuns are, well, stuns. Immobilization is stopping everything besides of ultimates which are already active. So let's say you have a Heller which is preparing to go airborne and bombard the shit out of you. You could stop that with the right click. If she is already in the air and is bombarding the shit out of you, yeah, you're too late. Sorry. The same goes for Lunar Snow and other wind up ultimates, right? You could stop them while they're winding up. If they're already in it, that's too late. Now, her F ability is also creating a spider web and helps her to traverse quickly on the battlefield. Keep in mind to cut the cord after you have been traversing, because the cord is catapulting you back to the spider web when you reach at least 10 points in the little icon you can see here in the middle, and you're wondering, wait, why would I want that? Why is that even a thing? The idea was probably that you can peek around corners, you can fight against enemies a little bit, and then when it gets too hot, you can just stop moving and being catapulted back into safety. But let's be honest here, most people never use that, and I have never seen it in pro play to be used in any shape or form. So let's talk about the spider web. Definitely one of the most important passives for Penny Parker because it gives her and only her a lot of buffs. The first one is a movement buff, which is also allowing her to actually move at a normal speed when she's shooting enemy, so no slowdowns anymore. But more importantly, it starts to heal Penny Parker. And now, before anybody is rejoicing here of like, cool, that means I don't need a healer. No, you do. The healing is basically your ability which protects you from a lot of damage and which allows the healers to actually heal you so that you don't get destroyed immediately in a group fight. You still need a healer. The healing is not that strong that it keeps you alive, even against single enemies. It's not really that strong. Also, what is really important to note here, while you're in the spider web and you have 100% health, you are getting bonus health up to 800 health. I know that's only 150 extra health, but come on, you take what you can get, right? And the next thing we have to talk about is the spider nest. The spider nest is the big nest and doesn't count into the 3 nest limit you normally have with the small webs you can create on the map. It's a 10 by 10 big web, and the spider nest itself is also producing little spider mines which are staying on the battlefield for a total amount of 15 seconds, and then the first 2 spider mines which were produced will be destroyed. If the spider nest is destroyed, the little spider mines are also being destroyed immediately. And the really interesting part about the spider nest is that, again, it's a 10 by 10 cube. Wait, cube? Well, are you blind? That's not a cube. That's a nest. That's a web. What are you talking about? So, yes, on a graphical level, this is a spider web, right? On a gameplay mechanic level, It's a 10 by 10 cube. You can actually see that here in the background right now, how I'm running outside of the spider web and I'm still getting all the buffs because I'm technically still in that cube, but not in the graphic anymore. So most of the time, the room will be bigger in the cube than the graphic is. I know it's only a little bit, but hey, it will help you to peek around corners, or it might help you to step a little bit outside if you have to overstep to shoot somebody down or something like that. Now, let's talk about positioning the spider nest, because a lot of enemies have realized they have a bad time as if that thing is around, so they destroy this quickly. And it will happen. You can position it as good as you want. You have to have a lot of map awareness as much as you want. At some point, this thing will get destroyed. So what do you do about it? Cancel it yourself. Because if you're canceling it yourself, you will have zero or only a little bit of cooldown in comparison to the full 15 seconds you are getting when an enemy destroys it, especially early on. If the spider nest was on the ground for a lot of time, even if it gets destroyed, you will have no cooldown. But let's say you're putting it down and somebody's jumping on it immediately, cancel it. You will still get a cooldown, but it will be much lower than somebody is fully destroying it without you doing anything. So that's something you have to look out for. Also, all the spider mines will attack the first enemy, which is stepping into the nest. Now, let's talk about the big spider mines. The big spider mines are insane when it comes to damage. 3 spider mines are enough to kill every strategist, and yes, every duelist from 100%. They can have 100% of life, they will be gone. Well, with a few asterisks, right? If they have like a dodge mechanic, they can dodge them, they can still shoot them, they can use certain abilities to protect them. Wolverine, his like last breath ability, which gives him some bonus health and doesn't kill him, will trigger. Like there's a lot of things which can happen so that the mines are not immediately killing the strategist slash duelists. But if they're unaware and all the 3 mines hit immediately, they're gone, right? And the range for the mines is pretty low. It's only 1 meter and 50 centimeters to trigger. And you can have technically infinite mines on the battlefield, but they have a timer of 1 minute. After 1 minute, the first mine you have deployed will be destroyed. Interestingly enough, the mines are not getting destroyed when you die. So be aware of that. You can also shoot those spider mines if you just angle them right over the whole map if you manage to. But what you actually want to do with this is you want to learn what the angle is so that you can use the mines aggressively and you can basically deploy the spider mines in a team fight on the back line of the enemy team. Now, that needs a lot of trying, and you will still screw it up because of like the height difference and what all is going on. Keep in mind, the mines also can be shot out of the air. There is a lot which can go wrong. And again, it's about should you do that right now or shouldn't you do that right now? And that's something you have to just figure out yourself. Now, let's talk about the ultimate very quickly. The ultimate of Penny Parker is really strong because it gives her a massive speed boost. You're shooting spider webs everywhere, you are deploying little spider mines. Your left click is becoming a pretty strong melee attack, which is also catapulting the enemies into the air. And your right click is deploying the big spider mines. You are also getting bonus health while you are standing in your spider webs. And additionally, you get a huge bonus health boost when you were getting into the ultimate. But what is interesting to note is when the ultimate ends, all your nets will disappear. All the little spider mines you created will disappear with the ultimate. The big spider mines with the right click will not disappear. They will stay there up to 1 minute. So you could theoretically plaster an exit or like a specific wall or something with all those mines. And if somebody is getting there, they're getting toasted. And yes, afterwards you can still deploy all your mines with the E ability. And you have probably already listened to this and think, wow, this is a lot of map knowledge. This is a lot of map awareness. And yes, this is why Penny Parker is so complicated. Her cooldown when it comes to her abilities are pretty low. She doesn't have to think about her teammates, like putting up a shield or putting out some sort of protection. She is the protection, right? And her high damage she can push out is another way of protecting her team. And she is a range Vanguard, but she also kind of wants that the enemy is getting closer because of all her mines, and so that she doesn't have to step out of her spider web. Again, Penny Parker is all about positioning, all about preparation. This is why it is so hard to get rid of Penny when she is dominating a certain area in the game, like a hold area, right? Where you have to hold the point and then you accumulating those points. And Penny is so good at that. That doesn't mean that Penny cannot play attack. I have seen her multiple times and I've done it myself multiple times while I was pushing the objective with Penny. But that means you need even more map awareness. You have to know where the next ambush will be, and you have to know where the next team fight will be, and you have to prepare accordingly. And that just needs time. You cannot just learn a YouTube video and then, or watch a YouTube video and then you have learned all of that. It's unfortunately one of those characters in Marvel Rivals where you have to play them quite a bit, and you also have to learn everything else. You have to know what your team does, you have to know what the enemy does, you have to know the map, and you have to know what your next plan is before Penny Parker is really paying off. But if you manage all of that, Penny Parker right now is one of the strongest vanguards in the game. With that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and also subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Marvel Rival videos. Keep in mind, though, I'm on a vacation right now, and I will be back at the beginning of next year. So with that said, have a good one, folks. Stay safe. Bye-bye.